Hey there, Golden Faithful, are you ready for some earth-shaking news from the Bay? Welcome to Warriors News Fan Report, where we bring you the hottest insider whispers and boldest rumors about our beloved Golden State. Squad, smash that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Tonight, a tantalizing rumor has surfaced that could redefine the Warriors' offseason strategy. Sources suggest the front office has officially called time on Jonathan Kuminga's tenure in Golden State. Before you jump to conclusions, let's unpack the layers of this sweeping decision without spilling all the juicy details just yet. There's a method in the madness, and trust me, every twist brings us closer to understanding why this move may be the boldest pivot we've seen in years. According to Monty Poole of NBC Sports Bay Area, the chatter in the organization is that Kuminga, who dazzled fans with flashes of brilliance, has found himself on the bubble after a rollercoaster season. On one hand, the young forward lit up the Timberwolves series when Steph Curry was sidelined, torching Minnesota for an eye-popping 24.3 points per game in those matchups. On the other hand, his regular season numbers hovered at a modest 15.3 points and 4.6 rebounds per contest, coupled with a chilly 30.5% shooting from downtown. Could this inconsistency have been the final straw for a franchise that demands excellence every night? The timing couldn't be more dramatic, just as the Warriors absorbed the sting of another first-round exit despite Jimmy Butler's mid-season arrival and flashes of potential. From our core rotation, the brass reportedly convened behind closed doors and baited Omar Tello on Kuminga's future. Is it possible they concluded that, with Draymond Green, Curry, and Butler locked into massive contracts, there simply isn't room for a developing talent who can't deliver reliable impact? Some insiders believe that pouring resources into proven veterans, rather than waiting for Kuminga to find consistency, makes more sense in a championship quest that feels increasingly urgent. Fans across Dub Nation have taken to social media in droves. On Reddit's Warriors subreddit, one user lamented, "He showed so much promise during the playoffs, why not give him another shot?" Meanwhile, another fired back, "We can't afford growing pains when every game feels like do or die. Trade him for meaningful assets." That debate captures the heart of this dilemma. Does Golden State gamble on Kuminga's untapped upside, or does it cash in now to bolster the roster around its aging stars? The financial backdrop only adds pressure. As a restricted free agent, Kuminga faces several paths. Signing a qualifying offer worth $7.9 million unlikely, given the Warriors' tight cap situation, agreeing to a new deal in Golden State, or matching another team's proposal in a sign-and-trade scenario. Could the front office be teeing up a clever sign-and-trade that nets quality contributors or draft picks, while allowing Kuminga to chase a fresh start elsewhere? Some whispers hint at interest from contenders hungry for his athleticism and potential teams that believe a change of scenery could unlock his best performances. Historical context deepens the intrigue. Remember when the Warriors balked at trading a young draft pick for immediate help during the 2017 title run? That decision paid dividends. Now, the narrative might be flipping. Perhaps Golden State sees more value in converting Kuminga's upside into veteran stability. Could this be the beginning of a new roster makeover that prioritizes experience over projection? And what does it signal to other young players in the organization that in Golden State, proximity to greatness demands instant contributions? Journalists covering the team have started dropping breadcrumbs. A respected beat writer noted that whispers from practice sessions indicated uneven effort and questions about commitment when the spotlight wasn't on him. Yet teammates have also spoken up. In his defense, pointing to his work ethic and rare combination of size and speed at just 22 years old. Is it possible that the front office weighed those locker room reports and decided that, for better or worse, the risk outweighed the reward? Meanwhile, rival executives are said to be circling, with Portland eyeing a rebuild and Brooklyn seeking athletic wings. Multiple franchises may have already reached out to gauge the Warriors' asking price. Could Golden State leverage that competition to extract maximum value? A haul of protected draft picks, a promising role player, or perhaps even a swap of veteran contracts to ease the luxury tax burden? Some insiders believe the pitch could include sending Kuminga alongside a future first-rounder in exchange for a veteran who can slot seamlessly into Kerr's system. For now, the final hammer swing remains a rumor, albeit a compelling one. What we know is this: Golden State stands at a crossroads. balancing loyalty to a developing star against the relentless pursuit of another championship. In a league where time is the most precious currency, delaying the quest for elite help might feel like self-sabotage, yet relinquishing a 22-year-old talent with star potential strikes at the very soul of what built this franchise, cultivating homegrown excellence. But what do you think about all of this? Personally, as a Warriors supporter, I believe that while Kuminga's flashes were thrilling, the stakes demand proven production, so if that means moving him now, it might be the right call. I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. If you're as hyped as I am for Warriors News Fan Report, smash that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and turn on notifications so you never miss a single twist in this Kuminga saga. Picking up right where we left off, imagine the locker room reaction when word spread that Golden State had literally batito o martello on Jonathan Kuminga's departure. The shockwaves have barely settled, and already the ripple effects are tearing through the roster and the entire Western Conference. Could this mean Coach Kerr has decided that the promise of potential no longer outweighs the need for proven, dependable production? Is it possible that intentionally parting ways with a 22-year-old with explosive athleticism represents the clearest signal yet that this franchise is all in on maximizing the championship window for Steph, Draymond, and Andrew? Sources who spoke to Lance Brassel noted that front office executives convened immediately after the season finale, poring over tape of Kuminga's 15.3 points and 4.6 rebounds per game, and contrasting it with his dazzling playoff burst of 24.3 points when Curry was sidelined. Those numbers were impossible to ignore, yet the inconsistency gnawed at decision makers. Some insiders believe that this move paves the way for more veteran reinforcements, perhaps a floor spacing wing or a lockdown defender who can step into critical rotation minutes. Without the learning curve, fans are wondering if the brass has already lined up trade partners, dangling Kuminga plus a protected pick in exchange for a veteran who fits seamlessly into their juggernaut of motion offense on the court. The immediate question is how minutes will be redistributed. Expect Otto Porter Jr. to see more run as small forward, capitalizing on his 37% three-point accuracy to stretch defenses. Could this mean Moses Moody and Jordan Poole finally settle into defined roles as secondary scorers, alleviating pressure on our core? And what about rookie Brandon Pajimski, whose ice-cold shooting from deep-thrilled crowds at Chase Center? He's likely to absorb many of Kuminga's spot-up opportunities, potentially jumping his average from 8 to 15 minutes a night and turning glimpses of brilliance into a consistent third-option threat. Beyond the rotation, consider the chemistry factor. Reports indicate Draymond Green privately expressed support for Kuminga's growth, praising his motor and unique blend of size and speed. Now, without that dynamic young talent, will Dro double down on distributing the ball himself, or push even harder to mentor Pajimski and Moody? Could this turning point accelerate the evolution of the bench unit, forging a dual nucleus of veterans and blossoming rookies who share a single mindset? Win now? Meanwhile, rival general managers are sharpening their pencils. Portland's front office has already sniffed around, intrigued by the idea of adding Kuminga's raw athleticism to a rebuilding roster. The Trailblazers could offer a package of future second-rounders and a rotation veteran like Malcolm Brogdon, freeing Golden State from certain luxury tax constraints. Some insiders suggest Dallas might even enter the fray, seeing Kuminga as a perfect complement to Luka Doncic's playmaking brilliance. Could we witness a three-team sign-and trade that sends Kuminga to Texas, Pajimski to Portland, and an established wing back to the Bay, the slot next to Kerr's proven core? Asterisk, in the broader context of the Western Conference, this decision sends shockwaves that extend well beyond the confines of Chase Center. Take the Los Angeles Lakers, for instance. They're already reeling from their own midseason roster, overhaul swapping out veterans, integrating newcomers, and desperately trying to recapture a championship formula that once dominated the league. Now, they must grapple with the prospect of a Warrior squad infused with a seasoned floor-stretching veteran who can knock down 40% of his triples. Imagine Anthony Davis and LeBron James doubling down on rim protection only to see yet another shooter light them up from deep. Suddenly, every Lakers game feels like navigating a lethal minefield, where sagging off from Curry or Wiggins is no longer an option, and double teaming in the paint risks yielding uncontested perimeter bombs. Could this level of offensive firepower tilt the balance in favor of Golden State even before they reach the playoffs? It's a daunting question for any LA fan. Meanwhile, the Phoenix Suns find themselves at a crossroads of their own. Devin Booker's scoring prowess and Kevin Durant's inserted dominance look poised to carry Phoenix back to the top of the West, until news of this Warriors move rippled through the valley. Now, every pick-and-roll and switch-heavy defensive scheme must be reevaluated. If the Warriors unleash yet another deadly shooter alongside Curry and Green, the Suns might need to rethink their entire defensive identity, perhaps sacrificing some of that switch-everything concept in favor of more help-side rotation. As zone looks to contain the barrage of shooters, is it possible that Monty Williams quietly begins to lobby for additional front-court help, or that Phoenix quietly scouts a lockdown wing who can guard multiple positions and contest threes without fouling? Fans are wondering if this seismic shift in Golden State's roster might force the Suns into a reactive free agency scramble, or push them to make a preemptive blockbuster of their own. Then there's Minnesota. The Timberwolves, fresh off inserting Anthony Edwards into the All-Star conversation and riding the momentum of a deep playoff run, now face an even steeper climb. Karl-Anthony Towns and Edwards were hoping to avenge last year's semifinal exit by exploiting matchups against average defensive teams. Instead, they may find themselves up against an opponent whose bench is stocked with shooters and veterans who know exactly how to run Kerr's motion offense. Imagine Edwards trying to break down defenses only to see the floor flood with credible threats at every level, forcing the Wolves to commit extra defenders and opening up even more room for Curry to do Curry things. Could Minnesota's own youth movement become yet another casualty of Golden State's relentless pursuit of win-now talent? From Oklahoma City to Sacramento, there's a palpable sense of opportunity and maybe even Schadenfreude. Thunder fans, proud of Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's ascension and Chet Holmgren's two-way potential, envision leapfrogging the Warriors in the youth stakes, supplanting them as the league's most promising long-term project. Meanwhile, Kings supporters in Sacramento whisper that if Golden State truly sacrifices its youthful assets for veteran polish, the Kings suddenly look like the more sustainable juggernaut of the future. Could this be the moment when the balance of power shifts, not just in contention, but in the hierarchy of rebuilds versus contending dynasties? Off the court, social media has erupted into a frenzied spectacle worthy of a playoff series. Former Warrior Andre Iguodala's tweet, "Change is hard, but growth comes from tough calls. Trust the process," has racked up tens of thousands of likes, with fans debating whether that sentiment applies equally to young talent and veteran acquisitions. Magic Johnson's podcast appearance added another layer. Younger isn't always better. When the playoffs start, you need reliability, he opined, sending ripples through every front office considering the merits of youth versus experience. A viral Reddit post titled "Kuminga Out, Veterans and End of the Splash Era" sparked over 5,000 comments, with debates raging over whether Golden State's identity is being sacrificed at the altar of immediate success. Even rival stars chimed in. Chris Paul joked on X that the Warriors must have invented time travel to turn youth into instant production, while Luka Doncic quipped that Dallas might take applications if Golden State's veterans ever need another dancing partner. Turning to the financial playbook, this move could free up roughly $8 million in cap space once Kuminga inks a new deal elsewhere. That cushion opens the door for the Warriors to chase a mid-level exception player without blinking, someone like Bruce Brown, whose defensive versatility and slashing ability mirrored Draymond's own two-way impact, or Derrick Jones Jr., whose high-flying blocks and corner threes could plug gaps instantly. Some analysts even suggest Golden State might package that mid-level exception alongside a veteran minimum contract to lure a borderline all-star hungry for a title, someone who can shoulder 15 to 20 points per game in spot minutes without disrupting Kerr's intricate scheme. Could this be the smokescreen that conceals an even bigger coup down the road? Now, as the dust settles on this seismic roster shakeup and the Bay Area braces for a summer of speculation and recalibration, one question looms larger than any box score, salary sheet, or locker room speech. What truly defines a championship franchise in today's NBA? Is it abiding loyalty to developing talent who may blossom someday, or an unwavering commitment to proven winners who deliver tonight? Personally, as a die-hard Warriors supporter, I believe that while letting go of Kuminga tugs at the heartstrings, embracing a lean, veteran-driven roster, one that maximizes our window with Steph and Draymond, gives us the best shot at etching our dynasty into the annals of basketball history. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Golden State's bold maneuvering, don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts, and subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report so you never miss another explosive update.